There's a lot of consideration and different focuses when it comes to creating a team-based game like Marvel Rivals, Overwatch, and Paladins. Wow, Paladins, if you even remember that game. Stuff to keep the game fresh and new like balance update, maps, community events, and so on. But hands down, the most important one when creating an FPS team-based game are the characters. If done just right, releasing a new or many different characters to the game would change the way everyone plays, either positive or negative. But what happens when you release too many characters? Especially when your game is just starting out. Well, this just in, according to one publisher from The Gamer, Marvel Rivals has too many heroes for its own good. To save us time and make things more simple, I'll give you guys the basic summary of what I got from this article. Basically, based on this article, they discuss how Marvel Rivals had a flashy debut, but is already showing cracks. One big issue is the lack of role queues, which makes it hard to play well with strangers. Players often get stuck filling roles like support instead of exploring other heroes, leading to frustration. Unlike Overwatch 2, which balances competitive gameplay with chaotic fun modes, Marvel Rivals only has the chaotic approach, which feels limiting. The game also struggles with its identity. It tries to appeal to casual players with cool Marvel characters, but demands high skill and teamwork, which turns off people who just wants to jump in and have fun. It launched with a massive roster of 33 characters, which is overwhelming and leaves a little room for exciting future updates. Instead of pacing itself and building anticipation, it threw everything at every player all at once, which might hurt its longevity. Overall, making the game feel like it's prioritized to look impressive over creating a lasting and engaging experience. Okay, so there's a few issues with this article I want to mention. First of all, I can understand the issue with the lack of role queue and how it can impact how people can play the game. Some games you're going to have a weird lineup like 4 DPSs, 1 tank, and 1 healer, and everyone on the team is going to ask each other how they lost. But other times it will be the opposite. The thing is, without role queue or role lock, whatever you want to call it, I don't care, it just works better for Marvel Rivals. If you got one person who's doing a poopy job as support, someone else can swap roles with them and then support can take the role the other person had, or vice versa. What I'm trying to say here is that it's not perfect, but it's better to have it this way because it's easier to adapt with the many heroes we're given to work with. It's also easier switching lineups midway throughout the game, and we don't have to wait for a decade to get ourselves into a game like Overwatch. Second of all, to say that the game struggles to appeal to casual players for how competitive it can be is a weak argument. Well, to me at least. Marvel Rivals isn't really meant for it to be a laid back and chill out game. It's kind of meant to get your brain going, how you can coordinate with your team with the heroes they have chosen. If you're looking for a Marvel game that doesn't require so much focus and stress, I suggest checking out LEGO Marvel. Additionally, when speaking about anticipation for a new character release, because they have 33 heroes on the roster as of recording this video, which makes sense on paper, but it's different in Marvel Rivals' case. Because it's licensed by Marvel itself, they can bring anyone from the Marvel universe to the game, and Marvel itself has a collection of a total of 30,000 to 50,000 characters, including both villains and heroes. And what I heard from the community itself, people are pretty hyped that more heroes are getting added to the game, like the Fantastic Four Squad and Ultron. Now in conclusion, I don't mean to glaze over Marvel, but this is Marvel we're talking about. How can they fail when they have lots of money and characters to work with? But yeah, I just thought this was silly and I wanted to talk about it, and yeah, that's pretty much it. See ya.